Let me tell you something people don't always understand. When the world sees Ilvolo, they see the polished version, the flawless harmonies, the elegant suits, the confident smiles, the effortless talent. People think it's easy. People think their lives are simple. People think walking onto a stage is just another day for them, as normal as breathing. But that isn't the truth. And if you've followed them long enough, if you've watched the way they move through the world, you'd know that the night before a concert is one of the most emotional, most vulnerable, most deeply human moments of their journey. I've seen it. I've felt it. And tonight, I want to let you feel it too. Because behind every voice in Ilvolo is a story most people never hear. People look at Gianluca and see someone calm, romantic, collected, a man who seems to live inside poetry and carries emotions with elegance. But here's the truth no one tells. Gianluca is a thinker, a feeler, a heart that never quite shuts off. The night before a concert, while others would try to rest, he sits in silence with a notebook on his lap. Not because he wants to write, but because there are feelings inside him that refuse to stay quiet. There's a weight he carries that most never notice. He worries about things the world assumes he has mastered: connection, emotion, sincerity. People think singing is just voice. But for Gianluca, it's everything he's ever felt, everything he's ever feared, everything he's ever hoped to give to someone who needed comfort that night. He writes small sentences, not full pages, just fragments of truth. Will they feel me tomorrow? Can my heart reach that far? He has performed for years, and still he wonders whether his voice will carry the right emotion to the person who needs it most. That is who he really is. Not just a singer, but a soul searching for connection. People see Ignazio and think everything comes easily. The laughter, the confidence, the jokes that light up a room, the joy that seems effortless. But joy is rarely effortless, especially for someone who feels as deeply as he does. Ignazio laughs loudly because he feels life loudly, and he cares more than the world will ever know. The night before a concert, there's a moment, always the same, where he grows quiet. The energy settles, the jokes fade, and suddenly he becomes a man with thoughts bigger than his smile. He thinks about his family. He thinks about the people who find happiness in him. He thinks about the fans who lean on his voice during hard days. And inside him, a small whisper always rises. I hope I'm enough tomorrow. People assume his confidence is natural. They don't see the pressure, the desire to bring joy, the weight of wanting every person in the audience to walk away feeling lighter. Ignazio carries a soft heart, one he hides behind humor, but one that trembles on nights like these, not from fear, but from the overwhelming responsibility of being someone's source of light. And then there's Piero. People hear his powerful voice and assume he feels powerful all the time. They see discipline and assume he never doubts. They see strength and assume nothing shakes him, but the truth is far more human. Piero doesn't fear the stage. He fears not honoring the people who believed in him long before the world did. He remembers his grandfather's pride, his family's sacrifices, the nights he stood alone practicing long after others had gone to sleep. People think success erases pressure, but for Piero, success multiplied it. Because now, he's not only singing for himself, he's singing for legacy. The night before a concert, he sits quietly by the window, watching the world outside, thinking about where he began and where he's going. He doesn't say it out loud, but his heart whispers, I hope I'm making you proud. He is not just a voice. He is a promise, one he keeps renewing every single night. People assume that being Ilvolo means living a life without fear, without doubt, without heaviness. But the night before, a concert tells a different story. 3 rooms, 3 hearts, 3 different worlds of emotion held together by one shared truth. They love what they do. Not because of applause, not because of fame, but because they know someone out there needs what only their music can give. People think singing is performance, but for Ilvolo, singing is responsibility. It is vulnerability. It is emotion. It is the quiet hope that tomorrow their voices reach exactly the one heart that needs them. And the night before the concert, when the world grows silent and the curtain hasn't risen yet, they each ask themselves the same question. Will I give them enough? That question, soft, honest, human, is what keeps them awake. That is the truth of Ilvolo that people rarely see, and that is why tomorrow's performance will not just be music. It will be 3 lives, 3 stories, 3 hearts giving everything they carry to a world that needs more gentleness. The night before the concert is not easy. It is not simple. It is not glamorous. It is real. It is human. It is where Ilvolo stops being a name and becomes 3 souls standing quietly with their truth. And that, more than any spotlight, is where the story really begins.